In what section of the clinical laboratory are you assigned?
Hello, good day. My name is Mark Rodney S. Manaban, a licensed medical technologist currently working at Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center or VSMMC. At present, I am assigned at the microbiology section of the clinical laboratory of VSMMC.
What are your responsibilities as a medtech?
As a staff of the microbiology section, your responsibilities can be narrowed down into three major types or three major activities. Number one is, of course, the accurate receiving and processing of the different samples that you may receive in the section, as from the weirdest to the most common. Name it, you can receive it in the microbiology section. Second is, of course, the isolation and identification of the pathogens, primarily bacteria, from the said samples that may or may not cause the disease of the patient. So it's primarily on you to decide on whether this particular pathogen or this particular bacteria is the pathogen or not. And of course, that includes also the pertinent testing of possible antibiotics or possible treatment to the patient, and that's very important, especially in this time and age of antimicrobial resistance. And lastly is, of course, the precise and careful, vigilant releasing of results that, of course, will serve as the basis of physicians on how to treat the patient. So it's from processing to identification of the pathogen, primarily bacteria. Also testing with a different, again, battery of antibiotics for treatment, and of course releasing of accurate results. So those are the main responsibilities of a medtech in the microbiology section.
How do you handle the problems you encounter in your departments?
Now, whenever we have problems in whatever form it may be, the first thing that we do usually is, of course, to communicate it as soon as possible, ASAP, immediately, instantly, so that everyone knows. And as much as possible, we tell it to everyone. We don't keep secrets or we don't hide it in the dark. We tell everyone, or we tell all the staff in the section what the problem is. Because we believe that once everyone knows, then of course everyone can contribute on how to solve the problem, and this will also prevent the addition or the worsening of the situation. So first thing that we do is, of course, to communicate to everyone, especially to our section head, so that, of course, she will know what is the problem, what is the trouble that's happening. Second is, of course, we then find a solution on how to solve the problem. If it can be solved by us, then we solve it. But if the problem is with the machines or with the equipment, then we then call for assistance from the engineers, from the different staff also of the hospital, especially if there are problems in our electricity and our in the maintenance of the room. So that's what we do. And then, of course, lastly, we document everything, from the source of the problem, how was it solved, who solved the problem, and what are the possible mitigations that can be done to prevent such problem happening in the future again. So that's how we solve problems. First, of course, very important is communication. As much as possible, we inform everyone as soon as possible. As soon as the problem happens, or as soon as the problem arises, we communicate it to everyone as soon as possible, especially to our section head. And then second is, of course, we find solutions. If we can solve it by ourselves, then we solve it. But if not, then we ask for assistance from other staff of the hospital or from engineers. And lastly is we document everything. We have our different paperworks, different documents for troubleshooting. All right, and that's basically how we handle our problems in the department.
What do you have to say to someone aspiring to be a medical technologist?
So to anyone who plans on pursuing medical technology, who dreams of being a licensed medical technologist in the future, or to you who is currently enrolled in the medical technology course, just like what I always tell my students before when I was still teaching, I always tell them to just persevere and to keep the faith, to develop a strong relationship with your God, because medical technology is not an easy course. Of course, there is no easy course, whatever course you may have taken up or you may plan on pursuing in college. But medical technology has its own level of difficulty, and I think majority of students, I believe, pursue or take up medical technology for the reason that they believe that medical technology is the best pre-medicine course. And I also believe that. But there is so much more to medical technology than just being a pre-medicine course. Medical technology in itself is such a beautiful yet complex field. It's really broad and vast, and consists of a lot of interrelated yet independent areas of discipline such as your microbiology or hematology, but altogether, they comprise this wonderful field. And I believe this pandemic has shown even more the importance of medical technology in the world. And whatever reason you may have to pursue or to take up medical technology, may it be to become a doctor someday, may it be to practice the profession, or may it be to just learn more, again, I just tell you to hang on, persevere, and keep the faith, because your medtech journey is not an easy one. It will not be a walk in the park. There will be a lot of challenges, a lot of crying, a lot of breakdowns, a lot of cramming, a lot of sleepless nights, exams, and all that, a lot of drowning in caffeine and all that. But always remember that all your breakdowns will turn into breakthroughs in the future. You will reap what you sow, and I tell you and I promise you, I've been through that. I've been there, and all your hard work will pay off in the future, and it will all be worth it. Just keep the faith, just hang on, and just persevere. Lastly, I also want to emphasize that you have to develop also a mindset that you want to learn more, and you're hungry for learning. Because if you have that mindset, you will be eager to learn more. You will be eager to really love medical technology. I believe from there, from having that mindset of being hungry for learning, you will then develop slowly your love for medical technology. So even now, I myself as a professional, I am still continuously learning. Learning is lifelong. Learning is forever, and I hope you have that mindset, because again, learning will never stop, especially if you're in the medical technology field. Okay, and you should be grateful, because this type of learning, you will carry it on forever. And I'm excited to see you all in the profession soon as future colleagues. So kaya mo yan, padayon RMT, you can do it. Okay, let's go.